Now, ever since his takeover, Elon Musk has introduced several, often controversial changes for Twitter. He is known for his eccentric and cryptic tweets. However, it turns out that his tweets haven't managed to get as much traction as they once used to. So, Musk had a large team of engineers alter the algorithm specifically to boost his tweets, a move that has drawn the ire of many. As a self-proclaimed free speech absolutist, Musk's efforts to artificially boost his personal tweets has raised many questions. And to discuss this, we're now being joined by tech and business journalist Adam Hancock from Singapore. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me.
First things first, how do you assess this move by Elon Musk?
Well, it's a fairly bold move, and we must remember that this is all based on reports by the media site Platformer at this stage. But the idea is that he's really not been happy with the engagement that he's been getting. It's a fair enough assessment, really. Apparently, he was unhappy that his tweet or his tweets about the Super Bowl were not getting the same levels of engagement as President Biden's. And if you compare the follower count, so Musk is on something like 129 million nearly followers, compared to President Biden, who is significantly less followers, you can understand why he would not be that happy that he's not getting anywhere near as much engagement. And we've seen, he's very actively involved in Twitter. He's regularly taken to the platform to talk about changes that are being made, meeting with engineers, trying to work out new systems, new algorithms, how the system can be improved. But it's a very bold move to effectively tell engineers to find a way to boost your engagement levels and to boost your popularity levels. So right. I don't think it's out of character for Musk, but it's slightly controversial, especially, again, given how much he said about free speech.
Right, absolutely. Now, if reports are to be believed, his tweets were apparently artificially boosted by a factor of 1,000. Timelines flooded with Musk's tweets. Do you think social media platforms should have the option of having a booster button? Of course, in this case, we're talking about Elon Musk. But what about other such cases where certain content creators may have an advantage over others that struggle for organic growth?
Well, I think as a business model, it can work quite well. We've seen in the past the idea of promoted tweets where people or organizations could pay to get their tweets out onto more timelines, and effectively it's just advertising, really. So I think if you're looking to make money, then it's fair. But there's an argument to say that social media is an opportunity for everyone. It's an opportunity for all voices to be heard and individuals to get their work out there and take on these big advertisers and these big organizations and individuals who have money for advertising. And really, I would see it as if you want to get more followers or you want to get your work seen by more people, you need to create content that people want to see and they want to share, and it goes viral. So really, this idea of artificially boosting people's work goes against the whole ethos of people creating content that other people want and it getting shared and new individuals coming through and being more well known through social media.
Right, absolutely. Now, we have also heard of certain dark patterns, as they're called, such as shadow banning, tracking user activity across platforms. What's your assessment of these practices?
Well, it shows really another side to social media, and it shows actually the enormous power that these social media websites have and the responsibility that they have towards their users. These particular methods, they can dictate who sees certain content which users aren't seeing on people's timelines. They can track data, and it's all stuff that really is why people are often quite mistrustful of or distrustful even of big tech, really. I remember around the time when Facebook, now Meta, obviously, were going through a number of scandals. People I knew were deciding to delete their accounts, get rid of all their data, take their photos off the platform because they weren't trusting the people who they originally had trusted with that personal information. So I think it shows the power that these organizations have. And, just harking back to this story about Elon Musk, one man in charge of this huge company with a massive platform around the world, saying that now he's going to dictate that everyone can see his material over others. So it does raise questions really about the power of big tech and the work that they do, and do they always do for what is best for the public and for their audience?
Right, absolutely. Now, coming back to Elon Musk, now he appears to be struggling with engagement on the platform, as you touched on earlier as well. Now, my point here is, if Musk continues with this plan to force feed his tweets to users, what do you think? How do you see the situation unfolding going forward?
Well, I suspect that it's going to put a lot of people off using Twitter. I know anecdotally, speaking to people over the weekend and the last few days, I noticed it myself when I went onto Twitter. The entire For You feed was just Elon Musk, and predominantly it was Elon Musk replying to people. And it's not really what most people are using Twitter for. Yes, we all see a lot of Musk tweets. Many people follow him, but I don't think people ideally want to see their entire timeline become Elon Musk. And, you know, this is a guy who divides opinion. Some people love him. Some people certainly don't love him. And this story, particularly with Twitter, has been ongoing for so long now. There was the whole drawn out process of the takeover. Then eventually he did take charge and all of the changes. And I think there's an element of people being a little bit tired of hearing about him, and they just want to use Twitter for what they want to use Twitter, whether that be for news or sport or politics or music or whatever it is they use Twitter for. They kind of want to get back to basics and use the platform. So he does risk alienating users if he is continuing to mess with the system like this. And obviously he's made a bit of fun of it, tweeting a few memes, and it is the Musk way to have a bit of fun with these kind of things. But he does have a big product that people use, and he needs to be careful with his audience.
Right, absolutely. And of course, for more clarity on this, what sort of alterations would you reckon are required for boosting tweets? As per reports, some 88 engineers were pulled in for this job. So do you think this affects efficacy, content moderation policies across the platform as well?
Most definitely, yes. It seems that, you know, a huge team, as you mentioned there, were all brought in to work on this, and it became like the main priority for the organization. It seems like what they have had to do, these engineers, is some of his tweets, which would well have sat on the For You page because they met the criteria of the algorithm, they weren't going through. So they've effectively green lighted all of his tweets to end up being pushed onto this For You page. But it's gone a little bit wrong, whereas everyone's platform is getting clogged up. So it seems that a bit of work has had to go through this. We understand Twitter engineers were working through the night to get this done. And there are concerns. You remember when Elon Musk took over and a large amount of people were laid off from the company, and there were concerns that certain departments, particularly those that moderate the material that goes on to Twitter, were short-staffed and running low. And if this much manpower is being used to try and sort out concerns over engagement for Elon Musk, then you do wonder what is being neglected. And we have seen recently a lot of technical glitches with Twitter. There was a big outage the other day. People couldn't follow other users. They couldn't retweet them. So if there are concerns about the technical capability of Twitter with the amount of staff that are currently employed there and working under Musk, and then they're all off working on these different projects, you would definitely fear if other departments are going to miss out a little bit.
Right, absolutely. Well, Adam Hancock, thank you so much for joining us with all your insights on this.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.